You are welcome to Grand Skill Catering Institute. My name is Chef Oge Chinweke. In today's class, I'll be showing you how we make our Nigerian jollof rice. We call it party jollof rice. We use it mostly in the parties, in occasions. It's a very wonderful meal, and I believe you are going to like it. The ingredients I'll be using for this food is I have my rice here. Then I have my fresh tomatoes. I have my fresh chili. We call it shombo. I need a lot of it because that's what will bring out the real color of the party jollof rice. And here I have my scotch bonnet, and I'll be adding tomato paste to it. I have my onion. We need a lot of onion for this food. I'll be using vegetable oil. I have my curry powder. I have my stock cube. I'll be working with bay leaf too. It's a jollof rice spice. Then I have my garlic. I have my ginger and a little crayfish. Crayfish is optional. If you don't like it, you can skip it, but it's very, very nice. It will add more flavor to your rice. Then I have my vegetables here. The green pepper and carrot. I'm just using these two for garnishing. It's not really part of the recipe per se, but I'm just using it to garnish it so that at the end of the day, the face of the rice will look very attractive. And remember, vegetables are very good to our health. And another wonderful special ingredient I'll be using for this food here is my chicken stock. The water from chicken. You can use beef stock, you can use fish stock, you can use any stock that you want, but we need stock for it. That is the flavor from the meat, so that it can actually go into the food and come out nicely. So first of all, the first thing I'm going to do is to blend my tomatoes. I'll cut it. I'll just divide it into 2 or 3 to enable the blender blend it very well. I'll add my fresh tomatoes. Fresh tomato is the main ingredient, one of the main ingredients for this food. Then I will also cut my onion. This is the one I was able to get, but if you have the opportunity to get a big one, big onion, it will be very nice. So here I'm going to add my chili pepper. That is shombo. And I'll add my scotch bonnet. And someone will say, why this plenty pepper? You really need it for this food to come out very well. So another thing I'm going to do is to cut my ginger and my garlic. I'm going to peel the garlic this way. Just to peel out the back. So I'm going to cut all of it like this. And the ginger, I will scrape the back. Just like this. Then I'll wash and blend everything together. So we'll be back when we have finished blending our tomatoes mix. Okay. All right, so I've finished peeling and cutting the ginger and the garlic. So what we have here is the fresh tomatoes, the fresh chilies, the scotch bonnet, ginger and garlic with our onion. So I'm going to blend, and while blending you need to add a little water to it to enable the blender work very well. So I'm going to add water now. Just add little water, then I will blend. While the tomato is blending, I'm going to wash my rice and parboil it. Just to put your rice in a bowl, add some water to it and wash. Make sure you wash your rice very well, very well. Like this rice now is very dirty, so you are going to sieve out and wash again and again until the rice is very clean. So I will sieve it out again. I'm just removing the dirt. Once you add water, you see the dirt will just settle up. So once that happens, you sieve it out. Remember, what you are making is party jollof rice. Nigerian party jollof rice. Very tasty and very nice. I'll sieve it. Now the rice is clean. So this time I will use my sieve to sieve out all the rice. So I'll put it in the pot. I'll add enough water to it, the water that can cover the rice. Okay, I'll put it on fire. While the rice is parboiling, I will go and check my tomatoes. Make sure you blend your tomatoes very well. Blend it so that everything, both the ginger, the garlic, everything will blend properly. Alright, this is what we have. So the next thing I'm going to do is to put these tomatoes in a pot and cook it, allow it to dry water. And another way you can also do this, you can go ahead and fry directly. But if you are doing that, before the tomatoes will get dry, you see the tomato will be splashing everywhere, and you find out that your walls and everywhere will be messed up. So that's why I always steam the tomatoes, allow the water to dry up, because we added water while we are blending it. So I will steam it, allow the water to dry before I start cooking. So I will get my pot. You can use pot for this, you can use your frying pan, anyone that is available to you. So I'll pour my tomatoes in here. Then put it on fire. While the tomatoes is boiling, I'm going to cut the rest of the vegetables. Like the carrots, I'll scrape the back. So this is our green onion, green pepper and carrot. I'm going to wash. Always wash your vegetables very well. So I'm going to cut my vegetables. Remember, I told us the vegetables are just for garnishing, to make the food look more attractive and to add nutrients to what we are cooking. You can cut to your desired shape. If you are working, be careful with the knife. I'm used to this, but if you know you can't do it, please cut it directly on your table. Remember, what you are making is Nigerian party jollof rice. It's a very wonderful meal. I hope you try it out. Then I'll cut my green pepper. Green pepper has its own flavor that adds to this wonderful jollof rice. But if you don't like it, you can also skip it. But it's very nice. You know, in Nigeria, we have different ways of making our meals. We have different methods of making rice. So anyone you wish, but just stick to Grand Skill Catering Institute. We'll be showing you different methods, different ways which you can make your rice. So which one of it is what we are doing now? All right, that is our vegetables. While we are doing this, I want to check my rice. You don't need to overcook your rice. Okay, so it's boiling. I'm going to wash it so I can remove the starch. Because it's very hot, that's why I'm not putting my hand yet. I think it's better now. We have washed the rice before, so we don't need much washing again. We're just trying to remove the starch from the rice. Okay. I'm going to sieve. I think I should do that here. I'm going to sieve. I'm using this sieve in case if there's any sand, you can remove it.
choosing Grand Skills as your #1 online free professional course creator. For your notice, I want you to know that the instructor of this course has put in so much effort, time and money just to create this content for you to learn all for free. So please do well to click on the subscribe button, turn on the bell notification to all so you will be the first to get our video tutorials we'll be posting at all time. Also give it a thumbs up and drop a comment to help us improve more. Thank you.
You sieve until you finish all the rice inside, which I have done right now. So we are still waiting for our tomato mix. We are still waiting for it. There's still water in it, so we're going to cook it until the water dries out. In that way it will enable us to fry it in a shorter while. We won't need to fry it much. All right, so if you look at our tomatoes here, it has dried water. So what I'm going to do is to add the tomato paste. I'll add the tomato paste and I'll stir them together. So while it's boiling, the next thing I'm going to do is to on the next fire. So inside here I will add my vegetable oil. You need enough vegetable oil for this. The beauty of this your jollof rice is in the oil, so you need enough vegetable oil to it. So I'll add vegetable oil and allow it to heat up a little. Once the vegetable oil is heated, I will add my tomato mix inside. Remember what we have inside here. We have our fresh tomatoes, the fresh chili pepper, which we called shombo. We have our scotch bonnet, we have ginger, we have garlic, and we have onion. So inside here, I just added my tomato paste to it. That is what we have here. So once this oil is hot, yes, it's hot now. So what I will do is to add this tomato paste. When you are frying this tomato mix together, make sure that you allow it to burn a little, because this our party jollof rice, the beauty comes out when it's kind of burnt, you know. Some persons like it like that. So when that burnt jollof rice is smelling, the aroma will be going far. So but don't allow your food to be overburn. Okay, I didn't really put the burnt side, I just scraped it off. So this is what we have. We need a lot of oil, enough oil, at least oil that will be above, a little bit above the tomatoes. And make sure you stir it continuously so that it does not get burnt. If it's burnt, you find out that your rice will get burnt easily. So make sure you stir. The tomatoes is already cooked, so we are just trying to dry it up a little. You stir it continuously. If you don't want it to be, you know, splashing everywhere, you cover your pot halfway so that it will not splash and stain everywhere. Just cover it and allow a little opening to it. So while this is cooking, remember this is Grand Skill Catering Institute. It's an online school, as we all know. Make sure you tell someone about this platform. It's very, very educating. We make it real. We don't keep anything behind the scene. Make sure that you get the best. This is the best online school so far that you can talk about. So please tell someone to tell someone to tell another person. I believe you are going to like it. So that is our tomatoes. It's boiling. It's really boiling. are stirring it, make sure that your spoon gets to the downside of the pot. Make sure you stir, keep stirring. Someone will ask, how do we know if this tomatoes is ready for use? How you know is simple. Once you see this oil settle up as it's doing now, the oil will kind of separate from the tomatoes. That's when you know that your tomatoes is ready. So, but the beauty of this food is when you allow the tomatoes to dry very well. Even when you are cooking it for a party, you are cooking large amount of it, make sure you fry your tomatoes with a large amount of oil so that it will dry easily. You can also use another pot to do this. You can use another pot to fry, then later you transfer to the main pot you are using. But since I'm using the same pot, I'll keep stirring it to the down. Okay, so if you look at it, you see the oil. If you look at here, you see the oil is kind of separated. So the next thing I'm going to do is to add my stock. This is the chicken stock, the water that we brought out from the chicken. You just steam your chicken with your stock cube, your thyme, your curry powder, and any spice and flavor of your choice. Once the chicken is steamed, is cooked, you just remove the chicken from inside. If you are using beef, still the same thing. You cook it and separate it. So I'll add it. That's the water we use in cooking the rice. Now the water is not enough. So what I will do is to add a little more water to it. So I will just add water to this. So the water you are adding is the water that can cook the rice. So once the water is added, I'm going to add my stock cube. So you can use any stock cube of your choice. I'm using the big stock cube and half. So inside here, I'm going to add salt. Be careful with salt. Remember, the meat stock you have contains some amount of salt. The stock cube has some amount of salt, and I'm going to add my crayfish now and curry powder. So I'll add my curry powder. Then I'll add my bay leaf. I told us the bay leaf, you don't need to cut it. You just add it like that. It adds its own flavor to the jollof rice. You just add it so that at the end of the day you can easily remove them. So at this point, I'm going to cover the pot and allow it to boil very well. So we allow it to boil for 30 minutes. Once it starts boiling, my heat might not be the same as yours, so I won't tell you to wait for 30 minutes. Once you notice that the food is boiling, you just start adding the rest of the things. So hold on and keep watching. Our food is boiling, looking at the pot to see how the smoke is coming out. You still have to stir it again. At this point, we are going to add the rice. This is the main thing. Just add So once you add the rice, you stir. Looking at the water is not enough. It can't cook the rice, so I'm going to add a little more water to it. I'll add water. Then you stir. Once you stir, you can taste for salt. If there's need for salt, you can add it at this point. Our party jollof rice is almost ready. So I'm going to add a little more salt. Just 1 teaspoon. Alright, so we are going to cover the pot and allow the rice to cook. So remember, this is still Grand Skill Catering Institute, the best online school you can ever get anywhere in the world. So make sure you tell someone about it. Make sure you subscribe to it. I will keep on bringing different meals, different delicacies from Nigeria and the whole rest of the world. So if you are making your Nigerian party jollof rice, sometimes you see the oil, the water will still be up, while you be perceiving some burnt aroma on the background. So what you do in that case is to use your spoon to create a hole, like what I'm doing like this. What you are simply doing is for the water to go down. I'm not really stirring it. I'm not stirring. I'm just using this spoon to open it up a bit. Because of the tomatoes inside, the rice, the tomatoes will go and settle under the pot. So it will make the water will not really go down. So what you do in that case is to use your spoon to open the rice so that the water can go down. Just like what I'm doing. You don't need to stir it. If you stir it, your rice will be watery. So you just open it. You see, as I'm opening it, the water is going down. So at this point, the rice is done. So what we are looking at is how to make the water to dry up. So which is what I'm doing now. I'm just creating a hole where the water can penetrate. Okay. So I will now reduce my heat. See, the water is still there. I'm not really stirring. I'm just making a space so that the water can go down. So as you can see, you can see the rice very well now. Okay. So I'll still allow it. At this point, I'll leave the pot open. After some minutes, I'll still do the same thing. When you are doing it, make sure you use an iron spoon to make it easy. So it's going down. So I will allow it to dry up completely. So we are still doing the same thing. See, the rice has almost dried up. So the rice is ready. So at this point, you can carefully remove the bare leaves. Remove it the ones your hand can reach. So remove it. Then I will now sprinkle this carrot and green pepper. I told us the carrot and green pepper is just to garnish it. So it's actually the heat from the rice that can dissolve it. So that is our party jollof rice. Very nice, very tasty. The aroma is already going everywhere, and the burnt aroma is also coming out. So thank you for joining us. This is Grand Skill Catering Institute. My name is Chef Oge Chinweke. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for choosing Grand Skills as your #1 online free professional course creator. For your notice, I want you to know that the instructor of this course has put in so much effort, time and money just to create this content for you to learn all for free. So please do well to click on the subscribe button, turn on the bell notification to all so you will be the first to get our video tutorials we'll be posting at all time. Also give it a thumbs up and drop a comment to help us improve more. Thank you.